Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has sworn in the newly elected chairmen of the 23 local government areas following their victories in Saturday's local government council elections. The swearing-in ceremony held on Sunday at the Executive Council Chambers, Government House, Port Harcourt, saw 22 chairmen from the Action People's Party and one from the Action Alliance officially inaugurated into office. Governor Fubara, while addressing the newly sworn-in chairmen, congratulated them on their electoral victories. The ceremony was graced by notable dignitaries, including the chairman of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, who was in attendance to lend his support. Each chairman was accompanied by a guest, as stipulated by the state government, and they are now expected to immediately assume their duties. Ndamzi, what do you have to say to this story?
Yes, the Constitution in Section 7 guarantees a democratically elected local government system. And it went ahead in Section 8 to give powers of control, financing, administration, and all that to the states. That is to say, the states determine what happens in the local government, time for election, who gets what at the various LGAs. And it is simply a power guaranteed by the Constitution for the governors. So nobody can strip the governors, not even the courts, can strip the governors of any state the powers as enshrined in Section 8 of the Constitution. But the bigger question is, before the election was conducted, were there pre-election disputes? And the answer is yes. There were disputes before this election was conducted, and in some quarters, so many persons have argued that the Federal High Court doesn't have jurisdiction to entertain the matter and all that. And in my view, I see it as laughable, because if we look at the Section 251 of the Constitution, it clearly defines and states the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court. And in that regard, federal agencies were involved. Federal agencies were among the dramatis personae in that matter. That was the reason Federal High Court had jurisdiction to hear that matter. That's on one part. Then, the governor swearing in the 23 elected local government chairmen, like I said before, under Section 8, the law guarantees and empowers the governors to determine what happens in the various AGAs. Now the elections have come and gone, I think it is the decision of the governor. It is in his opinion on when to swear them in, and I think he has done that. Let us be patient and watch what happens in superior courts.
Okay, what do you think in light of there are concerns around the credibility of Rivers State local government elections, starting from the activities of the RISEC to the authenticity of candidates, particularly the APP. You would agree with me that the candidacy of this chairman under APP is also a matter before the courts. Bomahat has gone to court to get expert order. One of the prayers when he went to court, one of his prayers was that he be reinstated as the chairman of APP. He is saying that he's the authentic chairman of the APP. That's on one hand. And then on the second part, he was also questioning the authenticity of the 23 local government chairmanship candidates under the APP party. And he was also saying that and according to him, he is of the opinion that they are not authentic. At what point did they defect to APP? Do you understand? At what point did they defect to APP? In line with RISEC timetable of primaries and publishing of candidates and all of that. So these are issues. So even apart from the APC litigation, APP itself has internal crisis right now. So how do you see all these things playing out?
Thank you very much, Laurentia. You see, credibility, it's something that is very far when you talk of local government elections in Nigeria, because the governor determines who heads the commission. The governor appoints the board and members of the CX in various states. So he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Okay? There is no way anyone will think that a local government election, let's look at the national election itself, credibility is lacking or had been lacking. Then you now tailor it down to local government elections. So anyone talking about credibility in local government election is just, wasting him or her time. Because if you look at section 81, sub 3 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, INEC itself derived its funding from the Consolidated Revenue Fund. But in the case of the state,
CX.
the CX, they don't derive its fund.
It comes from the state.
Yes, and that is guaranteed under section 122, sub 3 of the Constitution. So you see, funds that comes directly from the governor to a SEC board he or she appointed, who do you think the SEC and the board will work for? They will do his bidding. So then that is on one part. Then on the pre-election matters, reconciling what the APC is alleging and what APP itself is alleging, that they had internal crisis. Bomahat claiming to be the chairman, and all of a sudden someone else became the chairman, and we see names flying everywhere, from the various LGAs. That is also questionable. But at this point, the election has come and gone. That will become a post-election concern, which the tribunal...
So are you saying the pre-election matter will now turn into a post-election matter?
No. The pre-election matter remains what it is. And it is right that every matter that is pre-election matter ends in the Supreme Court. Yes, of course. Here in Rivers State, we have had that before during the time of CRA, Rotimi Amechi, and we all knew what happened at last. The chairman never enjoyed their tenure. So if the matter gets to the highest court of the land and the court vests it looking at the provisions of the law that the election did not meet standards as required by the law, then it will happen otherwise.
Interesting times ahead of...